So, one of my good friends here suggested that I do Mexico next, so I'm going to do one of my best friends' countries. Today we are talking about America's little buddy to the south, Mexico. So Mexico has taken the approach of the United States. Fuck shit up and ask questions later. Mexico is actually quite on par with some of the biggest militaries on Earth. They are no slouch. Their equipment is not bad. It is very good. They also have the United States that regularly trains their troops and equips them. And it's actually kind of secretly believed that the Mexican government doesn't really pay very much at all for American equipment. Kind of just give it to them. So without further ado, let's get into these numbers. Mexico is ranked 10th in the world with a population of 128 million people. That's pretty damn impressive, especially when you gotta compare it with Canada, which isn't so impressive. Available manpower is 60 million people. Again, 10th in the world, very impressive. Fit for service is 48 million people. Again, very impressive, and they have now gone up 2 slots to 8th. We get to reaching a military age annually, and that is 2.1 million troops, 11th in the world. Again, very impressive, with a total military personnel of 417,000 troops right now. So essentially, if Mexico actually wanted to build a very large military, they could, and it would be terrifying, especially with the equipment they use. The main battle rifle for the Mexican military is the FX-05 Quetzalcoatl. It's actually quite good. Mexico is one of the very few countries that actually produces their own weapons. Like Canada, use everybody else's equipment. Yet again, though, Mexico does use large quantities of American-made weaponry, because essentially the United States military just gives it to them. Looking further at their numbers, you have active personnel at 275,000 troops, which makes them 20th in the entire world. But their reserves are pretty impressive with 82,000 in reserve, and their paramilitary has got 60,000. Now, they do drop a lot of slots here, but again, the Mexican military is not a slouch. I would not be surprised if we actually see for the first time in modern time the Mexican military get its hands dirty alongside the United States, going after certain countries. They have a total aircraft strength of 475 aircraft. Now, the aircraft is the F-5 Phantom. Outdated and old, but actually a very decent aircraft. It sought a lot of its fame in the Vietnam War, where America used it to, well, burn a lot of things. You can take a quick look at the rest of the numbers here. This is sadly where Mexico gets a big old oof. They don't have any tanks, no main battle tanks whatsoever at all. They do have a large amount of armored personnel vehicles at 3,435. No self-propelled artillery. They have 200 towed artillery and no rocket capabilities whatsoever. Still a good force, though.